Hello guys, my name is Yulia Bolotova. Welcome to Start Russia, the channel where I share the best tips about Russia, the Russian language, Russian culture and how to do business here. Famous Russian writer Leo Tolstoy said that spring is time to plan. And I plan to record 4 videos about each season in Moscow, because all of them, spring, summer, autumn and winter, differ from each other in a great way. In this video, I will briefly introduce you to 10 essential points about spring in Moscow you should definitely know if you are going to travel here or you are just interested in the Russian culture. Let's go! Welcome to Red Square! The first thing you would probably like to know is what the weather is like in spring. I'm recording this video in May, and everything you will watch is happening in the most beautiful and the warmest months of spring. May is a warm month with an average monthly temperature plus 15 plus 19 degrees Celsius. In the daytime, the temperature is about 22-25 degrees Celsius, and it is very comfortable for walking. The weather can be changeable and unpredictable sometimes, so before traveling to Moscow, check the weather on the internet right before your trip. But if you are traveling to Moscow in March, the weather looks more like winter, especially in the first half of the month. The temperature can be below zero and it may snow till the beginning of April. The average temperature in March is from -8 to 0 degrees Celsius. Is from -8? The average temperature in March is from -8 to 0 degrees Celsius. April is a cool month with an average temperature of about +6 to +8 degrees Celsius. It may still snow a bit in April, but the snow melts in the first half of the month. The best thing about April is that the awakening of nature begins. It may rain a bit in April, but actually in Moscow we don't have an actual rain season as in some other countries. From the end of April, Moscow fills with tulips, white and violet lilacs, and millions of flowers all over the city. You can see them everywhere, but the best place to find them is in our numerous city parks. As you walk along the streets, you can smell their wonderful aroma. This is a chestnut tree, which is very common in Moscow. In Russia, it is a very well-known tree because it has one of the most beautiful blossoms you will ever see. Sometimes its blossoms are pink, but most of the time its blossoms are white. You probably wonder where the best places in Moscow to see the flowers are. I especially love flowers in Alexander Garden and in all Russian exhibition center area that is called VDNH. Spring is a wonderful season to showcase new dresses, and Russian women like to do it as soon as the weather gives them such chance. But it is worth mentioning that real Russian women like to look at their best even when there is a snowstorm. In the springtime, many streets remind of fashion show catwalks, because there are dozens of ladies walking in the season's latest outfits. On the other hand, there are many Russians who prefer casual and comfortable clothing. If you come to Moscow in spring, be sure to bring warm clothes, because evening temperatures are quite low. Also, remember that if you are planning to visit a theater, museum or classical concert, you should dress accordingly. Your clothing doesn't have to be too formal, but there is a dress code that prohibits the wearing of very informal attire. In Russia, there are 4 big spring holidays, and all of them are official bank holidays as well. The first one is International Women's Day. It is celebrated on the 8th of March. Unlike Mother's Day, this holiday is for every woman and it is widely celebrated in Russia. Do you know that on average, for every 1,000 men, there are 1,156 women in Russia? If you are in Russia on the 8th of March, you will observe hundreds of happy women carrying flowers. Don't forget to congratulate your female friends on this day. The second important spring holiday is Easter. We call it Pascha in the Russian language. Easter is the day of resurrection of Jesus Christ, and it is the most important religious holiday in Russia along with Christmas. Easter is a shifting holiday and it is celebrated according to the Julian calendar. Easter in Russia comes in April or May, about 2 weeks after it is celebrated by the Western Christians. On the 1st of May, Russia celebrates Labor Day. And on the 9th of May, Russia and all the post-USSR countries commemorate a very important holiday, Victory Day. Because of the enormous sacrifice of Soviet soldiers and citizens, the Second World War was ended and the world was liberated from fascism. On this day, a military parade takes place in Red Square, and there are many concerts and fireworks in every Russian city. From the beginning of April, nature wakes up from the winter sleep. Leaves on the trees come out, flowers are in blossom, migratory birds are coming back, and they populate parks and ponds. In Moscow, there are 96 parks and 18 gardens, including 4 wonderful botanical gardens with rare plants and trees. Moscow is a very green city. It is the greenest megalopolis in the world. Just imagine, there are 27 square meters of parks per person in Moscow, which is almost 3 times more compared to cities like Paris, London or New York. Every year, Moscow becomes more and more active outdoors. You can find and participate in a lot of activities, such as festivals or different kinds of competitions. For example, there is a bike festival that takes place in the center of Moscow. Because of this event, the traffic in the main circle road of Moscow, Garden Ring, is blocked for a few hours, and only people on bicycles have access there. It is a massive event because more than 40,000 people take part in this festival. It is like half of the capacity of Luzhniki Stadium, the biggest stadium in Eastern Europe. Also, there are many sport fields and workout places where you can train your muscles absolutely for free. In spring, you can see many people on scooters and skateboards, which are very popular means of transport and entertainment in Moscow. River transport is another amazing activity to enjoy in Moscow. There are many kinds of water transportation in Moscow, starting from small boats or catamarans that you can rent in many parks and up to big motor boats. There is even water police in the capital. There are many regular cruises along the Moscow River. You can enjoy a nice lunch or dinner and live music on board. And from there, you can admire the most magnificent attractions of Moscow. There are a lot of places to visit in Moscow, but in the springtime, I would recommend these top 5 places to see. And the first one is Alexander Garden. The second one, All Russia Exhibition Center area that is called VDNH. The third one, Zaryadye Park. The fourth one, Krasnopresninskaya Embankment. What a cool name to practice Russian. And the fifth one, Gorky Park, one of the biggest parks in Moscow that was fully renovated in 2011. Spring is the traditional season of love and affection. There are many couples in love in the streets and a romantic atmosphere is in the air. If you want to enjoy nice weather, blossoms, fresh air, picturesque scenes, in my opinion, you should come to Moscow in May. It is not only the best month of spring, but also of the entire year. Let's see more exciting views and spring vibes in Moscow. Come to Moscow in spring and the memory of this wonderful journey will remain with you forever. Subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, and please let me know in comments your recommendations if I decide to travel in spring in your country. When is the best time to come and what I definitely must see? Dear friends, if you are already learning Russian or you're going to study this language, click on the link below in the description box to this video and I will send you my video lesson free of charge about 7 crucial mistakes people make when they learn Russian. Don't make those mistakes. Thank you very much for watching.